Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Wellness Architect. I'm your host Mark Negrelli, and today we're diving deep into something that every busy professional, entrepreneur and leader needs: how to stay at the top of your game without burning out. I know what it's like to juggle all the responsibilities that come with business, family, and trying to take care of yourself. Trust me, I've lived it. If you don't know my story, I built a multi-million-pound business and leading up to the pandemic, watched it crumble. I've also faced a lot of serious health issues, but I got back up again and I learned some incredibly valuable lessons along the way. Today, we're going to talk and break down my new course, Equilibria, High Performance Blueprint for Busy Leaders, and explore some powerful insights from people who've had a major influence on my journey, folks like Tony Robbins and experts like Dr. Andrew Huberman. In this episode, we're going to cover how you can create a wellness blueprint that balances high performance in your professional life with physical and mental health. I'll be sharing real actionable steps you can start implementing today, and trust me, you won't want to miss these, because these are the strategies that have helped me stay sharp and on top, even at almost 50. All right, let's kick things off by talking about something we all know too well: stress. Now, if you're a busy leader, entrepreneur, or professional, I know you're no stranger to stress. In fact, for most of us, stress is just part of the job. We've been conditioned to believe that stress is the price we pay for success. What if I told you stress doesn't have to be your enemy? It can actually be your fuel if you learn how to use it the right way. Here's the reality: stress is unavoidable, but the key difference between those who thrive and those who burn out is how they manage and channel that stress. The good news is that science backs this up, and we have the tools to turn stress into something that drives us rather than drains us. This is something I've picked up from mentors like Tony Robbins. He often talks about how stress can either break us or build us. It's up to you to decide which one it will be. Tony says that stress is just a stimulus for growth, but it's only a catalyst for improvement if we learn how to channel it in the right direction. And I can tell you from personal experience, I didn't always get this right. There was a time in my life when I let stress run the show. I was pushing myself to the limit, constantly chasing stress, but I wasn't managing the pressure properly. I thought I was invincible, but eventually the stress caught up with me and it nearly cost me my health, and even worse than that, my marriage. But through those tough times, I've learned an important lesson. Stress doesn't have to destroy us if you learn to manage it effectively. It can actually fuel your growth. Science backs this up too. One of the researchers I follow closely, Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist from Stanford, often talks about how the stress hormone cortisol can sharpen your focus and increase your drive when it's kept at healthy levels. When we experience stress, cortisol is released to help us stay alert and handle the challenges in front of us. It's our body's way of priming us for action. But, and here's the critical part, when stress is mismanaged or it becomes chronic, cortisol levels remain elevated for too long, and that's when the damage happens. It wreaks havoc on your body, weakens your immune system, drains your energy, and messes with your mental and emotional well-being. Over time, it can lead to burnout, strained relationships, and serious health problems. So the key here is not to avoid stress, because that's impossible in a high-stakes environment, but to manage it and ensure you actively recover from it. So how do we turn stress into a tool for success rather than a roadblock? It starts with something I call the stress recovery cycle. The idea is simple. You allow yourself to enter high-stress situations when necessary, because if you're an entrepreneur or leader, basically you can't avoid them. But you also make time to recover from those stressors, whether that's through exercise or meditation or simply getting enough quality sleep. Recovery is the unsung hero of high performance. If you don't give your body and mind time to reset, stress will take over and you'll be operating at a fraction of your potential. I'll be honest, in my early career, I didn't take this seriously. I thought that if I wasn't grinding 24/7, I was falling behind. What I've come to realize is that if you don't build in time to recover, you're not performing at your best. And recovery isn't optional, it's essential. It's what allows you to handle the next high-stress challenge with clarity and energy. Here's an example from my own life. I've been in those intense high-stress situations where everything feels like it's spiraling out of control. You're juggling multiple deadlines, managing people, and trying to keep your personal life together. In those moments, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and let the stress control you. But what I've learned is that the key isn't to fight the stress, it's to have a recovery plan in place. After a particularly stressful day, I make sure I do something that brings me back to equilibrium or a level playing field. Whether it's going for a run, spending time with the kids, or just taking a walk in nature, these activities allow me to reset. These recovery moments that I recharge my energy and come back stronger the next day. So what can you do today to start managing stress more effectively? It's about creating that balance between stress and recovery. The next time you're in a high pressure situation, instead of letting it take over, ask yourself, how am I going to recover from this? Make it intentional. Go for a run, take a 10-minute walk with your family after dinner, meditate, or simply get a good night's sleep. Recovery is just as important as the work itself. And remember, stress isn't something to fear. It's something to harness and manage correctly. Stress can sharpen your focus, boost your performance, and help you reach your goals. It's all about finding the balance and giving yourself the tools to recover so the stress becomes a tool for growth, not a threat to your well-being. To sum it up, stress isn't your enemy, it's your fuel. But the difference between stress and burnout lies in how you manage it. Make time to recover. Be intentional about how you handle stress and watch how it transforms your performance and your life. When you master this balance, stress becomes not just manageable, but a powerful tool for growth. Let's move on to a topic that can truly transform your performance habits. If you're anything like me, your to-do list feels endless. Between business, family, and everything in between, it's easy to let your wellness slip. But here's the simple truth. Your habits will determine your success. Small, consistent habits done day in and day out will either elevate your performance or drag you down. And I get it. Life gets busy and wellness often takes a back seat. But here's where we can take a smart, science-backed approach to forming new habits that stick. As always, Dr. Huberman's research on behavioral science has some gold for us. He talks about a powerful concept called habit stacking. It's one of the best ways to integrate new habits into your already packed schedule. The idea is simple. Attach a new habit to something you're already doing. For example, if you're trying to build a better wellness routine, start by attaching a quick 5-minute stretch or walk to an activity you're already doing, like having your morning coffee or winding down after work. And speaking of a wellness habit, let me give you an easy one that you can do with your family. A 10-minute walk after dinner. Now, you might be thinking, what's a 10-minute walk going to do? But don't underestimate the power of something that's so simple. A short walk after eating can improve your digestion, stabilize your blood sugar levels, and help you unwind after a busy day. But here's where it gets even better. You can turn this into family time. Rather than everyone retreating to their screens after dinner, why not take the family out for a walk together? It's the perfect opportunity to bond, catch up on the day, and build stronger relationships. Trust me, these short walks aren't just good for your body, they're good for your family connections too. Why after food, not before? Now, I know what you're thinking. Why after dinner? Well, let's take a page out of the book of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Now, stay with me here. You don't want to walk on an empty stomach because it feels too hard. And you definitely don't want to walk while you're still stuffed because that just feels too much. But after a meal is just right. It's the perfect time to stretch your legs, burn off a bit of that meal, and enjoy a leisurely walk. So next time you're sitting there after a big dinner, resist the urge to flop on the couch and scroll through your phone. Just grab your family, head outside, and take a quick 10-minute walk. You'll feel a lot better for it, and you'll strengthen those family bonds in the process. One way I personally integrate habit stacking is by attaching a wellness habit to something I do daily, like my morning coffee. While the coffee brews, I stretch or do a light exercise to get my body moving and awake. It's simple, but effective. And after dinner, I often take my family out for a walk. As I've just mentioned, it gives me time to catch up with my wife and kids, also while doing a good thing for my body. So, what can you do right now to start building high performance habits? Choose one small habit that you know will improve your health or relationships, whether it's drinking more water, stretching, or taking a 10-minute walk after dinner. Then attach it to something that you're already doing every day, like your evening meal or your coffee break. Just start small, but stay consistent. You don't need to overhaul your whole life to build a better habit. Just take the first step, and over time, these small actions will compound into big results. Building high performance habits doesn't need to be complicated or time consuming. It's about making small, intentional adjustments that fit into your life without adding stress. Remember, the actions you take today will shape your success tomorrow. So stack those habits, take that 10-minute walk with your family, and watch how these small changes make a big difference. Now, let's dive into a crucial area that often gets overlooked by busy professionals: nutrition and recovery. These are areas where I see so many people make avoidable mistakes. Listen, I completely understand how easy it is to make poor nutrition choices when you're buried underneath meetings, chasing deadlines, and dealing with clients. It can feel like you're always on the go. So grabbing something quick, often unhealthy, seems like the easiest option. But here's the hard truth. What you put into your body affects everything. It affects your energy levels, your mood, your ability to focus, and your long-term health. If you're feeding your body with poor quality foods, you're not just setting yourself up for physical burnout, you're impacting your mental clarity and your productivity. It's like trying to run a high-performance sports car on cheap fuel. It's not going to run as effectively or efficiently. Your nutrition should be viewed as the foundation of your performance, whether you're in a boardroom or in the gym. One of the key principles I teach in Equilibria is how to fuel your body for optimal performance. And it's not about following the latest diet craze or adopting an extreme eating plan. High performance professionals don't need more complexity in their lives. They need something sustainable and smart. The key here is to focus on whole foods, avoiding heavily processed foods, and ensure you're getting the right macronutrients, especially protein, which is critical for the brain function and muscle repair and energy. As a type 1 diabetic, I personally face challenges when it comes to nutrition, but through trial and error, research and consulting with experts, I've learned how to manage my condition while maintaining high levels of performance. And the takeaway? It's possible to overcome any nutritional obstacles if you have the right strategy. On top of that, science backs up the importance of nutrition and how it affects performance. Dr. Huberman talks extensively about the benefits of intermittent fasting. So do a lot of other people. According to research, fasting can reduce inflammation and help improve mental clarity. Now, I'm not saying that fasting is a requirement for everybody, but there's significant evidence that being mindful of when you eat and what you eat can have a major impact on how you perform throughout the day. If you missed my last podcast episode on carb cycling for fat loss, I'd recommend go back and give it a listen. I go into depth about how strategically alternating between high and low carbohydrate days can boost productivity, fat loss, and energy levels without burning out. Carb cycling is a great approach for busy professionals because it allows you to maintain performance without extreme dietary restrictions. Now, let's not forget about recovery. If you're consistently working and pushing yourself without giving your body time to recover, you're digging yourself into a deeper hole. It's not enough to just eat well. You also need to focus on rest, hydration, and letting your body and mind rebuild after long days of intense workouts. Recovery isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. I'm a big advocate for integrating recovery as an essential part of your performance routine. This doesn't just apply to athletes, it applies to anyone working in a high-stress environment. Whether you're running a company or a marathon, your ability to perform is directly tied to how you recover. And recovery isn't just about taking a day off. It's about what you're doing in those recovery periods. Proper hydration, nutrition, sleep, and even stress management. All right, so what can you do today to start seeing improvements? Here's a quick tip. After a long day or tough workout, give your body what it needs to rebuild. That means focusing on 3 elements: rest, hydration, and proper nutrition. A balanced meal rich in protein and healthy fats can make a huge difference in how you feel and how you quickly recover. Don't underestimate the power of recovery. It's just as important, if not more important, than the workout itself. The next time you're tempted to skip recovery or grab something convenient but unhealthy, remember, the choices you make today will affect your performance tomorrow. If you want to perform at your best consistently, your body needs to be treated like the high-performance machine that it is. Fuel it right, give it time to recover, and it will serve you well in both your personal and professional life. To wrap this up, nutrition and recovery aren't optional. They're essential. You wouldn't expect a car to keep running without maintenance, so why would you expect your body to? Take the time to fuel yourself properly. Make smart nutritional decisions and prioritize recovery. Trust me, the results will show up not just in how you feel, but how you perform every single day. So let's shift gears and dive into leadership, a topic I've been living and breathing for most of my life. Whether I was leading the business, managing a band on tour, or even navigating the complexities of family life, leadership has always been central to what I do. But one of the biggest lessons I've learned along the way is that being a great leader isn't about making decisions or telling people what to do. It's about emotional intelligence. Now, I've made my fair share of mistakes. I've let stress get the better of me on more occasions than I'd care to admit to. And when that happens, it affects everything and everyone around you. Your family, your business, your relationships. I've seen it firsthand. What I've come to realize is that emotional intelligence is not just nice to have for leaders. It's actually essential. It's the foundation that allows you to manage relationships, handle high-pressure situations, and make better decisions both in business and in your personal life. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is your ability to recognize and manage your own emotions while being aware of influencing the emotions of others. Think of it like this. If you don't have control over your emotions, how can you expect to lead effectively? Whether you're managing a team, running a company, or leading your family, the ability to stay calm, assess situations, and respond rather than react is what makes a true leader. Leaders with high EQ aren't just better at handling stress, they're also better at building trust, managing conflict, and inspiring others to follow their vision. EQ is what separates a good leader from a great one. It's what enables you to connect with people on a deeper level and guide them through challenging times. For me, mastering EQ has been a game changer. Whether I'm making a critical decision in business or trying to maintain balance in my family life. Can't tell you how many times I've been in a situation where I let my emotions take control, especially when the stakes are high. When you're dealing with the pressures of leadership, be it at business or at home, there's always a risk of letting stress dictate your actions. In those moments, I wasn't just damaging my relationships, I was making poor decisions, and the ripple effects were felt everywhere in my team, my clients, and my family. But it's through these moments of failures that I have learned some of the most valuable lessons. I realized that to lead effectively, I had to start from within. I had to build that emotional awareness, that self-regulation. It's about being intentional with your actions and grounded in how you interact with others. This is how you create strong relationships and inspire those around you, not only by being perfect or not by being perfect, but by emotionally being aware and connected. Tony Robbins always talks about the importance of managing your emotional state, and he's spot on. If you can't manage your emotions, you struggle to manage anything else, whether that's business, a team, or your family. Tony's teachings helped me realize that emotional intelligence is more than just a leadership skill. It's a life skill. When you're able to maintain control over your emotions, you're able to stay calm under pressure, making rational decisions and staying connected to those around you. That's so important. I'll tell you, when you're in the middle of a crisis or a high pressure situation, your emotions are running high and it's extremely easy to react impulsively. But emotional intelligence allows you to pause, reflect, and respond in a way that's right, thoughtful, and effective. It's what gives you the edge as a leader, both professionally and personally. So here's something you can implement starting today. The next time you're in a high pressure situation, whether it's a boardroom meeting or it's a family conflict, take a step back and check in with yourself emotionally. Ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Am I reacting or responding to it? This simple act of self-awareness can completely change the way you handle the situation. Just pause for a moment and take a few deep breaths and try and understand the emotions at play, both within yourself and with the people around you. Once you've done that, you'll find that you're in a much better position to lead with clarity and purpose. Trust me, mastering emotional intelligence can transform not only your leadership, but also your relationships, your business, and your life. At the end of the day, leadership isn't just about making tough calls or being in charge. It's an emotional awareness and connection. It's about having empathy to understand your team and the emotional resilience to navigate challenges with grace. And this applies not only to your professional life, but also to your personal relationships. When you lead with emotional intelligence, you create an environment of trust, loyalty, and mutual respect. And that's the key to long-term success. All right, I want to dive into the topic that often flies under the radar in the wellness world: financial wellness. You might be asking yourself, what does money have to do with wellness? And my answer is, well, everything. Financial stress is one of the leading causes of anxiety, especially for leaders. I've been there myself, riding the roller coaster of financial highs and lows, from building a £1 million business to facing monumental financial challenges. I've come to realize that just like your physical and emotional health, your financial health plays a huge role in your overall well-being. It's not just about making money and how much. It's about how you manage it and how you think about it and how you align it with your personal values. When you have a healthy relationship with money, you're in control. You're reducing one of the biggest sources of stress, and that frees up mental space and energy to focus on what truly matters, whether that's health, your family, or your career. Let's be honest, most of us don't talk about money enough, especially in relation to our wellness. We might feel guilty about spending habits or ashamed of financial mistakes or overwhelmed by the complexity of managing finances. But ignoring it won't make it go away. You need to actively manage your financial health just as you would your physical health. I've seen successful leaders feel paralyzed by financial worries, even as they run their thriving businesses. So many sleepless nights are spent worrying about making ends meet, managing cash flow, or balancing personal and professional finances. If your finances are in chaos, it has a direct impact on your stress levels, decision making, and ultimately your success in all areas of life. Think of financial wellness as building a structure that supports your broader life goals. You wouldn't build a house without a foundation, right? The same goes for your financial wellness. Without a solid plan, the pressure can come crumbling down on you when things get tough. Start by reviewing your financial situation honestly. Don't avoid the hard truths. What are your expenses? How does your spending align with your priorities? Are you investing in things that matter the most, like your health, your family, or your future? Another crucial aspect is setting long-term goals. It's not just about saving or cutting costs, but about creating a vision for your financial future. What kind of life do you want to lead? How can your finances serve that vision rather than dictate it? This clarity can be transformational. Here's a practical step to take straight away. Set up a financial system that aligns with your personal values and your wellness goals, whether that's setting aside money for fitness or investing in activities that bring you joy and relaxation. Make sure your financial decisions support your well-being. Take the time to automate savings, review investments, or even speak with a financial advisor if needed. The peace of mind that comes from knowing you're financially secure or on the path to it frees up mental bandwidth to focus on more important things in life. I'll leave you with this. True financial wellness isn't about chasing the next million. It's about creating a life where your money serves you, reduces stress, and enhances your well-being. Trust me, this shift in mindset is just as crucial as hitting the gym or eating right. When you have a healthy relationship with money, you're building the foundation for lasting success. Financial wellness is a cornerstone of living a balanced life. It's not separate from your physical or emotional well-being. It's entwined. So, as you work on improving your physical health, don't forget to bring your financial health along for the ride. It's all about balance. Balancing your time, your energy, and yes, even your money. All right, folks, we've covered a lot today. We've talked about using stress as fuel, building high-performance habits, fueling your body for success, and mastering your emotional intelligence and even financial wellness. These are all key components of Equilibria, high-performance blueprint for busy leaders. And I truly believe that if you implement these strategies, you can achieve balance in your life without sacrificing your success. If you found value in today's episode, I'd love for you to share it with someone who needs to hear this, whether that's a colleague, a friend, or even a spouse. And don't forget, the Equilibria course is launching soon, and I'll be diving even deeper into these topics to help you create a blueprint for your own high-performance life. So, until next time, stay well, stay balanced, and take care of yourselves.